Hello fellow preppers, 'tis I, the Rumpled One, giving you guys a little different view for a change on the back deck instead of the front porch. You can probably see the trees blowing in the wind. Why we prepare? Well, I'm sure you've probably seen the news that there was an internet outage in northern Arizona, Sedona, Flagstaff, surrounding areas. Someone cut the cable, the fiber optic trunk line. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Who did it? According to news reports, it was vandals. But I guess there's some of that conspiracy theory going on here, because supposedly this was in a very remote location where it happened. You just can't get there easily with the vehicle. And the way it was done, they left no evidence. It looked like a professional job. So there's these theories that the government's in on it, that it's a false flag. It's a beta test for things to come. See how people will respond, and so the government will know what they need to do to keep people in check. Now, in the articles, I should say, once again they refer to vandals, but they also said that there was an outage in Florida and there was an outage in Oklahoma. Well, I did a quick Google scan. I couldn't find any news reports about these outages. So I'm wondering, did these outages actually occur? And if so, why weren't they in the press? And another thing, there was somebody on one of the releases in the comments section said that they were in Texas and they also had an outage. So I tried to find about outages in Texas. Couldn't find one there either. Now the funny thing is that this happened on the same day that I guess the FCC decided to turn the internet into a utility and do this net neutrality. So I guess that just adds to the conspiracy. What do you think? To me it doesn't matter. It just shows how you need to prepare, because in the news reports they said, you know, people were panicking. They couldn't use their ATM cards. They couldn't buy things at the store. The students they couldn't get their assignments in. They were afraid they were going to fail. So you can see, on the one hand, we're very dependent on something like the internet, and it can create havoc. But on the other hand, if you're prepared, you know, you've got cash on hand, you've got food in your pantry and refrigerator, you keep your gas tank, you know, filled, you know, you don't let it drop below 1/2. So when these things happen, it's like, okay, it's a minor inconvenience as opposed to a life-threatening or life-altering event. They're getting all kinds of cold weather down in Texas and the southern states. Once again, shelves are being emptied at the Walmarts. But if you're a prepper, maybe you go help empty the shelves, but that's just to add to your supply. Or maybe you go, you know what, I'm not going to go out in those crowds. And you don't have to, because you're prepared. But once again, I'm probably preaching to the choir. But sometimes it's good to hear the same message, just in case you're getting a little lax. In this area, gas prices have gone up. We had a low at 208 just the other day. It was 252 at the pump. That's quite a bounce off the bottom. And then I also hear more of those, I guess, gloom and doom reports that, you know, the economy's coming to an end, money, the bottom's gonna fall out. But you gotta wonder, you know, these things keep happening, but we keep going along. Because see, if you're prepared, it just really doesn't matter. Now I also know, I want to make a comment. Some people say, or at least one person said, they wanted to see me do more videos on things like my pocket dump and things like that. Well, you see, if you look in my video catalog, I think I've done, it's over 1,000, I don't know, maybe over 2,000 videos. Most of them are just commentary, but I've showed some tricks, things I do around the ranch, in the shop, you know, different techniques, told my story. And then for my fellow traders, I've done trading videos. But a lot of times I just be repeating myself because there's just certain basics, you know. And some things I just don't find interesting enough to do a video on. You know, I built this table, I built these planners, you know, I show you, you know, that I've done it. But the actual doing is, I mean, do you really want to watch me cut a board? I measure and cut a board. To me, it's just not that exciting. But we'll see what the rest of the year brings. Maybe I'll do some other project or something. You know, some people like to do that. You know, they're building things with hand tools. But it's like, well, you know, if you're a prepper, you pretty much should have everything built you need unless you have to grab and go, and then you're going to be out in the wilderness. And I don't think you're going to be really taking your woodworking tools and making, you know, furniture. So it's just a matter of preference. You know, I'm not putting anybody down. It's just, you know, it's just a different philosophy, different lifestyle. I mean, most of the things I build, it's like I built them. I don't need to build them again. There's no reason for me to do this with the hand saw when I got a chop saw, a bench saw, and a radial arm saw. I mean, yeah, sure, if the power goes out, do I really need a table? I got, you know, wire spools. I can take a board and a couple cinder blocks and do a makeshift table. So, like I said, that's why I don't really do too many of those videos. But anyway, fellow preppers, you know, the reason why you prepare, it really doesn't matter. But these things, I like to do these videos because it shows you why you should prepare, because you never know what could happen next. And as you all know, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail.